What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and today we'll be talking about HyperLiquid. It is the 19th day of June, Friday. $68 is the price, and here we are with about 10 and a half hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? We're on the daily time frame, and I'd actually like to start here, maybe not on Coinbase, maybe on Bybit. Do we have it? Bybit, where? There you are, yeah. Just for the more historical data. We look at this here on the daily time frame. There's a couple of things going on here, good and bad, right? There's this day, which looks like a nice dragonfly doji to the upside. It looks like we kind of move down. We're having a reversal. We might start moving up. That's nice, right? Typically, whenever you get a candle like this, it might mark a relative low, and then you move up. Not always. Not always, but still, it's a nice look, right? It's a nice concept. Maybe we close the day green and we look like this, and that could generate the next move higher. And then, of course, there's the overall look of this M shape here, of this double top, which if this is a double top, it's very menacing because what that would imply is that from here, we'd likely retreat 30% or more in price action. So to avoid this, we need to behave very well over the coming days and over the coming weekend. There's some things that we need to do now. It needs to happen now. We can't screw around. Okay, so let's go over that. Again, hit that like button. Thank you all. Let's get into it. Okay, 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here. Since this high, we've been in this downtrend with lower lows and lower highs. You've even seen a little false break of that downtrend at times. What we need to do first and foremost is break this downtrend. We need to move up and we need to stay up. And ideally, turn this double top into a triple top, maybe into a quadruple top. The more tops we get, the more higher lows we get coming up into this, it can turn it into a ascending triangle, and that could actually lead us to break out. There's a good chance that we could still go higher and make our way all the way up to that $79, $80 minimum target that we've had in store for weeks now. But it's completely possible that this double top upholds and that we do go lower as well. And if we don't, again, this is what I mean by if we don't behave here, right? We look at the 1 hour time frame. Stochastics are looking bullish. The RSI is starting to break out its downtrend and turn up. The MACD is killing its bearish momentum and starting to build bullish momentum. It's still bearish overall. You're in a bearish environment, but things look like they want to turn up. That's good. But if in your turning up, you only get to here, you only get to like $70.50. You get to $71.50 for like a minute, and you come back down. That's not behaving well. That's pretty bad. We go below this low. That's pretty bad, you guys. It's pretty bad. We look at this here on the 4 hour time frame. The 1 hour looks decent. It looks like it wants to see some recovery. The 4 hour is also pretty decent overall. I mean, we look here, and you're getting higher lows. Now you have broken that a little bit, but that's okay. That's not too bad. You're back above it now. It's not too bad, but we want to maintain this higher low structure, and really what we want to do is we want to get overbought. Okay, you don't want to see a rejection of the overbought zone and then a break of this line. That would be bad. You want to get overbought and potentially see readings that are like this, like any of this. You know, that's what you want to see. Okay, higher lows and some higher highs on the 4 hour time frame. Stochastics are looking like they want to turn up. The MACD is at the zero perfect area to bounce. Again, on the 4 hour especially, you really have a decent look here. And it looks like you have a chance to move higher. Do something with that chance. Do something with that look. Please don't tarnish it, because if you don't do anything with it, if all you get is maybe like a false high like you had here, then you come back down, it's going to really make it look like we're going to go below this low. And if we get below that low there, you guys, again, it's pretty damning to the price. I mean, we're talking like 30%, 40% drops, maybe more. Okay. HyperLiquid, typically whenever it tops off, it likes to kind of distribute. You know, it's got a very short history of existence, but when it tops off, it likes to chill, likes to hang out in this topping area, right? It likes to chill, it likes to hang out in this topping area before really selling off. We've only just begun this area here. I don't believe that it's going to be as simple as double top and then we're done, right? I don't think it's going to be that simple. But the last time that we saw a double top of this kind of variety, like this here, we did go down. We retreated lower than where that first part of this M shape began. So just to put that in context, that would take us below $40. We're at $68 now. It's not something you want to do. Again, that becomes increasingly more likely if we see any price action below roughly $53, and yeah, but basically $53. Yeah, if we get below there at all. Looking at this on the daily time frame, RSI rejecting the overbought area, not good, not bad. I mean, you've done it before and still reclaimed higher levels. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, that is good. It's an overall positive daily RSI for now. Stochastics rejecting the overbought, so not good either, but still you've done that recently and you still grew from there. So I'm not too worried about that. The daily MACD looks bullish as well, but what is a problem is here you're getting a solid drive, here you're getting solid drives, here you're getting a solid drive, here you had a false cross, and here you potentially have a false cross as well. These false crosses, the last one we had, didn't amount to much, but relatively speaking, that in this consolidation phase, you went from the upper end to the lower end. That wasn't a good thing, man. If we go from the upper end here to the lower end here in this consolidation phase, that's going to make this look more like a double top, more like an M pattern. It's going to be bad. So the idea, the MACD is good overall. Sure, it is. It's nice. We're above the zero. We're finding support. We're crossing up. It's great. But if this is a false cross, if we start to cross red here over the coming days, again, on the 4 hour, even on the daily, this look here, you've got this look like you want to move up higher, which is nice. Do it. If we don't do this soon, and in fact, if we move down over this weekend, that could be very damning to the price down below $40. Okay, just so we're aware. I don't have anything else to say. I think I've said enough. My suspicion remains, even with this bearish look that hype has, my suspicion remains that we will see something of a $79.47 price to $115 price, but most specifically around this $95 to $80 zone, something around there. That's my suspicion. That's what it's been for about 2 or 3 weeks now, 3 or 4 weeks maybe. And that's what it will be, continue to be, unless we start getting some daily closes below 63.75. And I mean, really, if we close below $53, it's over. At that point, we might be at a low point relative to this drop, but it's still probably a good time to look for some short opportunities, because we're probably going to go all the way back down here to this golden ratio zone where the beginning of this M shape happened, and maybe even through it. So HyperLiquid does distribute at times, right? It does like to distribute for a long time, but that doesn't mean, here we saw that, here we saw that. That doesn't mean that it has to here. It can absolutely come all the way back down, and maybe we come back up, and this is all part of the distribution. It's just wickedly volatile. But I hope I've given you some things to think about. The primary thought is that we need to behave well, and ideally we need to move up soon. The most important thing is just that we don't really move too much lower, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.